Hey team, Jake here, and I hope you're having a great start to your day. I'm the founder and CEO here at Pept, and today I have a awesome little video with lots of little practical, easy to implement tips on how to improve your fat loss results. Okay, over the years we've worked with tens of thousands of people across all of our locations, and we've helped so many people lose a bunch of weight. Now it's your turn. Okay, and even if you've been with us for a while, you might not be doing some of these things. So make sure you listen up. And if you find it super valuable, please share it. That'll be super awesome as well. So when it comes to losing body fat, okay, most people talk about energy in versus energy out, which of course is very important. But the thing is, not all energy is created equal. Not all calories are created equal. So it's not simply a matter of calories in versus calories out. There is a lot more to it because human beings are quite complex. And what the major thing that makes the biggest impact apart from calories in and out is your hormones, okay? And some hormones in particular, and there's one in particular that makes the biggest difference, and that's a hormone called insulin. Okay, you would have heard of insulin before because you would have heard of it through diabetes, etc., etc. And it's thrown around, but not many people know what it is and what it does. So its job is to regulate our blood sugar levels, which is amazing, and we really, really need that. Okay, so when your blood sugar levels get really high, insulin comes into the bloodstream, helps our body store some of that glucose, which is the sugars running through our bloodstream, blood sugar, right? And it helps us store it as glycogen so we can use it later. Now, that's amazing. Now, the problem is if you're trying to lose fat, okay, when there is high insulin in our bloodstream, our body is unable to burn fat effectively, okay? So when insulin is high, fat burning is low. So if you're trying to burn fat, we really need to keep our insulin down. Okay, so that's the basic principle that you need to understand. The question then becomes, how do we do that? Okay, now over time, your body's going to become more sensitive to insulin and therefore not have to produce as much, which is going to be great. But right now, we have to be really mindful of what we're doing to make sure that our insulin levels aren't super high all the time, okay, like they are in most people. Now, by the way, if you have a high amount of insulin in your blood chronically, which means often and all the time, then there's going to be several problems. You're going to have a lot of inflammation in your body. That means like aches and pains and injuries and not recovering after training very well, etc., etc. You're going to be slower, as in mentally. So your IQ literally drops when insulin is high. Okay, you're going to get inflammation in your brain. Okay, it's also linked to developing Alzheimer's and other brain-related conditions in the future. And it's also the hormone of aging. So if you want to look really, really old, make sure you got heaps of insulin in your blood. If you want to keep your youthful good looks, then you want to monitor your insulin levels. You want to try and manage them as much as you can. So there's a whole lot of benefits, okay? Now, the question is, like we said before, how do we keep our insulin down? Now, insulin will typically spike after meals, in particular meals that are high in carbohydrate, okay? So for the starters, 99% of our population in Western society needs to reduce the carbohydrate intake, okay? The reason why carbs are so prevalent in the world is because they're cheap, easy, they store for long times, and food manufacturers make a lot of money off them. Not because they're the best thing for you, your health, and your goals, okay? So understand that. Reduce carbs, number one. But I'm going to teach you a couple little simple things that you can do. The first is make sure that you have a good quality fat in every meal. Okay, so fat slows down the digestion, and a slower digestion of the meal means a slower rise in your blood sugar levels, which means less insulin production into the bloodstream. Okay, good news for your fat loss efforts. Okay, now, that could be from a variety of things, but you're eating a good quality meat, it's going to have good fats in it. If you're having a coffee with your meal, pop a teaspoon of coconut oil in there. So a teaspoon if it's kind of solid, if it's probably more a tablespoon if it's liquid, depending on how warm it is where you live. You have some avocado, nuts, things like this, right? Now, the other thing that I would recommend you have at every single meal is a real quality fish oil. Okay, so fish oil is one of my favorite supplements. When it comes to fat burning, you just can't beat it. Okay, so you're going to have, typically you'll be on a high dosage of fish oil. If you're following my recommendations, or if I was coaching you, you'd be on a high dosage until you get lean, and then you take a smaller dosage. And when I say high dosage, that means 1 gram per day per percentage of body fat. So let's say you're 20% body fat. That means you'll be taking 20 grams a day. That's 20 standard sized capsules. And that sounds like a lot, you know, compared to what most people do, it is, but it's very effective and it's been proven to work very, very well. Now, the key is, like all supplements and all food and life in general, you need quality fish oil, because there's a lot of crap out there. If you go to the supermarket, you're going to get some of that crap, okay? So you need to get a good quality fish oil, and it's one of those things where you'll get what you pay for, okay? You'll get what you pay for, so invest in a good one, okay? Because it's super, super important. There's many benefits to this, but it'll reduce your inflammation and keep your insulin down. And it'll help your brain, your joints, your whole body feel a lot better, okay? So you're going to take high quality fish oil and you're going to split it up. Let's say you're on 20 and you're having 5 meals a day. That means you'd have 4 capsules at the end of every meal, okay? And that's going to help dull the insulin response by up to 30%. So it means your body's going to produce 30% less insulin after that meal, which means you're going to burn more fat, which means you're going to feel a whole lot better, you're going to recover better, you're going to be sharper mentally, and the list goes on. You can Google benefits of fish oil and it's an enormous list, okay? Helps almost every single function in our body. Now, to maximize the fish oil's benefit, you're going to get a supplement called carnitine, okay? Carnitine. And you're going to take 0.5 gram of that every time you have, it comes in a powder, so you mix that with water and wash down your fish oils with it at the end of the meal, 0.5 gram, okay? Now, what that does is carnitine basically helps our body burn the fat as fuel. So fish oil is a fat, okay? Carnitine helps get fats into our mitochondria, which is the part of our cell that produces energy. Okay, it makes energy for us. So basically, carnitine is going to help your body burn fat as a fuel. Okay, if you're trying to lose fat, that's a good thing, right? Very good thing. Okay. The other thing you can do at the end of a meal to dull your insulin response or minimize your insulin response is to have vinegar. So if you're having a salad, get a vinegar-based dressing. Or you can get a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. You've probably heard of that. Now, that'll taste horrible. So your other option is to get it in capsules now. You can get it in capsules and take a couple of those at the end of every meal as well. And that'll help reduce your insulin response up to another 30%. Okay? So now we're less than half the insulin response. Probably even more than less than half if you've changed your carbohydrate intake as well. Okay? So those are my little tips to increasing your fat burning results. I hope it makes sense. If you have any questions, pop them in the comments. We have, for those of you who don't know, we have our 28-day Fat Blaster Challenge coming up, and that's where you're going to have semi-private PT with one of our trainers twice a week for 4 weeks, and every Monday night for 4 weeks, you're going to have a session with me, where I'm going to be teaching you awesome stuff that's going to help you achieve your goals, just like in this video today. And you're going to have plenty of time to ask me questions and get specific individual feedback on what you can do better to achieve your goals as well. So that's coming up. If you're interested in that, post in the comments and we'll have someone get in touch and get you organized for that as well. Apart from that, team, I think, just check my list. I think I've covered everything. So thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed it, please share the love and share the knowledge, and let's help some people today. Apart from that, remember, today is day 1. It's the first day of the rest of your life, so make sure you go have a crack at it, do something awesome, help somebody, make a difference today, and let's make the world a healthier, happier place. Have an awesome one. Bye-bye.